Ron, good morning to you. Good morning to all our listeners. And I hope your day started so right and so bright. And all of the listeners locked into Light FM have started their day as usually bright and right. Well, we are here covering the festivities of Carifesta 15. And I could tell you it got off to a very beautiful start. Lots and lots of events taking place. Lots of dignitaries are here. And so we'll not to hold back the dignitary that I have with me this morning. Let me say good morning to the Honorable Owen K. Daryl, the JPI, I would assume it's Justice of the Peace, and Member of Parliament of the Government of Bermuda. So, Minister, thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Mr. Vera. Good morning to your listeners. It's a pleasure to be here from beautiful Barbados.
Wonderful indeed. And I can't help but saying good morning to my good friend, Mr. Famous, also MP there in Bermuda.
Yes, MP Famous is one of my colleagues, a hard-working member of Parliament from the area of Devonshire. We've worked together quite a bit in the party and now with government. He's very much involved in CARICOM. So whenever there's CARICOM meetings, he goes down with the delegation. So he's also been very part of this Carifesta for me and making sure I meet the right people and I'm in the right places at the right time. So he will be delighted that I am joining you on your radio station to bring your listeners a little bit more about Bermuda and where I'm from.
Well, that was going to be my next question, actually, because a lot of people in Guyana, and I'm sure in other parts of the Caribbean, I remember many years ago I was speaking with someone last night, and we were talking about Jamaica and how in the early days, Jamaica wasn't purposefully isolating itself from the rest of the Caribbean, but it is just that it wasn't that integrated into the region itself. So lots of people from the southern Caribbean were not too familiar with Jamaica until after the integration of CARICOM and all of that. So Bermuda, I'm not saying we don't know about Bermuda, but I'm sure lots of people who are listening would very much like to hear about Bermuda and probably go after hearing you.
Well, Bermuda is a small island in the northern Atlantic, so it's not actually in the Caribbean region, but as we know, we're all culturally connected. Many of our ancestors came from the region up to Bermuda for various reasons. We're still a colony of Britain, so many people still don't know that. But with the help of CARICOM and the meetings that are held, events like Carifesta, events like Carifesta, and other events, we are definitely a part of the Caribbean, as part of the cultural diaspora, and it's always a pleasure to interact, whether it be governmental meetings, cultural meetings, or even just vacation in the region. So that's where we are. We're just up north, just across from North Carolina. That gives you kind of a geographical reference as to where we are. But we are very much part of the cultural fabric of the Caribbean region.
Something starts somewhere, and obvious, you had to start somewhere. Owen Darrell started somewhere. What drove you into politics? And then subsequently, you've got oversight for all of these ministries, these portfolios that you hold. Give us a little background.
Well, I'll tell you, about 25 years ago, I started my career as an educator. I taught high school in Bermuda, so it's many Bermudians that see me, and they're in the workforce now, and they refer to me as Mr. Daryl because I was their teacher. It was some point along there that I used to encourage young people to get into the landscape, the civic landscape of Bermuda, and it was around that time that I was actually invited to a political meeting. And I said, well, I'll go and I'll check it out. And at that point, they lay out their different roles that you can play in a political party, and I wasn't necessarily interested in that. But what I was interested in was service. So I just started getting involved in service in the political party. And as they say, servant leaders are actually chosen. So I continued servant leadership. I started to serve on different committees, and then I actually got into the nuts and bolts of political campaigning. And then it was 2017 that the then and still Premier, the Honorable E. David Burt, we won an election in 2017, and he asked me, he says, look, I would like for you to come with me as my chief of staff. So I left my career as an educator. I spent 5 years as the Premier's chief of staff. I was then appointed to the Senate within that time. In 2022, I was then appointed from the Senate as the leader of the Senate, which meant I then sat in cabinet. At first, I was the Minister of Youth, Culture, and Sport. I've since added, as you say, the portfolio of tourism, culture, and sport. And in February, I was elected in our most recent election. So I took on the portfolio of tourism and transport, culture, and sport. But like I said, there is quite a bit of portfolios in there, but they are very important portfolios to Bermuda. And I tell people all the time that even as an elected official now, I keep the servant leadership mantra at the front. And that's how I live my life, and that's how I, serve the people of Bermuda as a politician, as they say.
Your portfolios are similar to the ones in the Guyanese cabinet, where there's a minister who has responsibility for culture, youth, and sport. But obvious, tourism, culture, and sport has a lot to do with youth. In terms of you exercising your responsibilities, and let's focus on the youth, because that's where this entire Carifesta actually is focusing on. How do you see youth in Bermuda itself moving forward, especially with the onslaught of technology, the internet and everything else, and then you've got culture and you've got sport? How do you see it working in terms of helping youth to progress as they move forward in life?
Well, I'll tell you this. As I said, I formerly held that portfolio with youth. I'm very much and always will be very much connected to the youth through my years as an educator. But now that portfolio goes to the Minister of Social Seniors, Youth, Social Development, and that's the Honorable Tanae Furbert. But I will say this, that just before I took over that portfolio in 2022, there was Bermuda put in a national youth policy. And that national youth policy guides everything when it comes to the youth, which includes, the youth and how they're going to progress their long-term development. It includes the culture of the youth. And so we all work very closely together. And youth is something that's very, very close to my heart. And when we do, whether it be tourism forums, we make sure that there's a youth component. Obviously, with sports development, we have a lot of long-term youth development plans. We have something now where we take youth and we expose them to all of the sports available in Bermuda, all of the national sports governing bodies. It's like a 12-week program, and they will spend a week doing different sports. So we see that that's how we kind of bring in youth and sport. And then with culture, as you can see here at Carifesta, I mean, the fact that they've seen fit to have every event that they have, they kind of tie it with a youth night or a youth showcase. Shows the importance of youth and how, as I say, young people are the leaders of the future. And it doesn't have to wait until they become adults to try to train them to be leaders. So it all ties into leadership as we see it.
You were well represented. In fact, Bermuda was well represented at the opening ceremony, which means that you're participating significantly. What are some of the areas your folk from Bermuda, your representatives here, what are some of the areas that you are involved in?
Well, we have visual artists that did not actually come, but they are taking part, through the use of technology in sharing the visual art that we have in Bermuda. We have one of our top artists that did come down for an artist talk, and that's Miss Jerde Hassel. She did her artist talk yesterday. We had 4 vocalists, 2 traditional singers, and then 2 soca singers. So they were on the big stage on Friday, open up for, as you know, Marshall Montano on Friday night. So we were very happy and proud about Alay and Fire Rain. We also have a group of Gombeys. Gombeys is our traditional dancers in Bermuda. You would have seen them in the opening ceremony. They're in the costumes. They have the drum beat. You would have seen them in the opening ceremony. You would have seen them at Bermuda night. And as I finish this interview later today, I will go on the road because they will be doing pop-up performances throughout different Carifesta sites. So we're really proud to bring our delegation. It was about 20. I know some have delegations of 80, 90, 100, but yeah. So we've brought a delegation of 20 here. And we're really proud of being able to showcase Bermuda, as we always say, and it's cliche, but Bermuda being a very small island tends to punch above its weight a lot of times, and we're really proud to share our culture. And at the same time, learn the cultures of other Caribbean regions and how they're intertwined and interconnected.
You know, the high point question many people may ask me in Guyana, I could ask you, have you ever been to Guyana?
I have not. I was invited. I think you have a cricket tournament that comes up next month, the finals at CPL.
It's going on right now.
It's going on now.
The finals come up next.
And the finals are in Guyana. So I was invited. My schedule does not allow, but it will only be a matter of time before I get myself to Guyana to immerse myself in that culture. I know our premier has been. I know you've had some CARICOM meetings there before. So, yeah, okay, you have interviewed him. So there's only a matter of time before I do get to Guyana, whether it be on official business or official relaxation, one of the two.
Let's hope you could visit while you were minister, so you could enjoy some of the privileges that goes with being a minister of government. But certainly, finally, your thoughts on Carifesta, the planning and the events and all of that. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'll tell you, it's a huge undertaking, and I want to say shout out to the government of Barbados, led by their Prime Minister, Ms. Mia Mottley. I was privileged to sit in they called it the Big Talk, a conversation with her and the Honorable Ralph Gonzalez from St. Vincent and the Grenadines just a few days ago. And, you know, just to see the importance, as you say, that they've put onto this, to have the venues throughout the island. And I was listening to the planning, how they said, you know, we're not just going to have it all in like, as some people call it, uptown, where it looks pretty and people who expect, but they take it to the people of Barbados, and they're putting it in communities so that everyone can feel immersed in this. Everyone in Barbados could feel proud that they're hosting this Carifesta. And that's what it's all about, right? Because as we know across the Caribbean, we come from all different backgrounds, all walks of life, all socioeconomic factors that come into it. And I'm glad to see that Barbados has seen it fit to put on different events for different folk in different areas, all under the name of culture, and inclusion. So I'm really happy to see that. You know, they've had some really good events and celebrations, but we've also had some very serious talks about events and things in the region that are really, really important to move us forward and move us forward together.
Wonderful indeed. Fortunately, and I'm always proud to say, we hold the distinction of hosting the first Carifesta in Guyana in 1972.
Good, you know, I did hear that.
And within the same period, Minister Honorable Owen K. Daryl, Minister of Tourism, Transport, Culture and Sport in the government of Bermuda. Thank you so much. You shared a lot with us. It's always good to learn of other places, their interests, their culture, their history, and all of that. And I'm sure one day soon, we'll be able to come and share those same observations like we're doing here in Barbados.
Absolutely.
With our listeners in Guyana and around the world.
I was going to give you that question as well. You said, when am I going to be in Guyana? I want to know when you're going to come to Bermuda. So, absolutely.
Thomas Famous is insisting that I come much earlier than I planned to. So definitely, and I will surely reach out to you when I get to Bermuda, because you can't be linking or connecting with the Minister of Tourism.
There you go. Absolutely. And that's part of my daily work, right? Not only to invest in tourism, but also sell and market Bermuda. So we're hoping that you or any of your listeners, we're happy to host you in Bermuda at any time, so that we can continue to share the connection of cultural throughout the region.
You know, I like to give politicians a parting word. Mm-hmm. And since you're Minister of Tourism, Culture and Sport, you may want to invite people to Bermuda. All right?
Absolutely.
Some parting words from you.
Absolutely. Well, I'd say thank you for having me on the show. Bermuda is closer than you think, and that is one of our sales pitches. So if you're thinking about coming to Bermuda, please check it out, Bermuda.com. You will see all that we have to offer. Every island is unique. Just like I'm here in Barbados, everybody says, well, Barbados is the best island in the world. I say, well, see what Bermuda has to offer. Every island has its uniqueness. So I'd like to say thank you. If anybody's thinking about coming by, I am on social media under Minister Owen Darrell. You can find me, you can follow me, and I will share all that my island has to share with the rest of the world. So thank you.
And I like to do my own little pitch to tell people, if you don't go, you don't know. Go to Bermuda. Thank you so much, Minister.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, Ron, took a little time here, but I'm sure it's of interest to everyone. We are still in Barbados, and throughout the day, I'll be sending reports to yourself, to Alethea, and then we go through into the afternoon with Deborah. From the Hilton Hotel in Bridgetown, Barbados, I'm Bobby V. The Queen here is with me doing the technical work, and we're going to send it back to you.